We're told politics and sport should not mix. But the 2018 World Cup in Russia was politicised before a single ball was kicked. Several months ago, former British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson seemed to suggest that England pull out of the competition to protest Russia's alleged poisoning of a former spy on UK soil.
I think it will be very difficult to imagine that UK representation at that event could go ahead in the normal way.
And articles upon articles explore the ethical dilemma of allowing Russia, with its questionable human rights and political record, to host such a prestigious tournament. The politics didn't stop there. As the competition reaches its climax, here are 5 times politics reared its head at this year's World Cup. The game between Switzerland and Serbia was tense before the kickoff, mainly due to 2 players on Switzerland's team. Swiss players Xherdan Shaqiri and Granit Xhaka are of Kosovar Albanian descent. Their families fled Serbian repression in Kosovo in the 1990s. When Yugoslavia officially split in 1992, Kosovo, with its Albanian majority, remained part of Serbia, much to the frustration of its population. Serbia's repressive policies against the Kosovar Albanians gave rise to the Kosovo Liberation Army, and war between the KLA and the Serbian army broke out in 1998. According to Human Rights Watch, the Serbian government led a campaign of ethnic cleansing, executing thousands of Kosovar men, women and children. Kosovo declared its independence from Serbia in 2008, something Serbia still refuses to accept, even though Kosovo is recognised by 117 states. This brings us to the double eagle celebration, performed by Shaqiri and Xhaka in the match against Serbia. To the south of Kosovo is Albania, and this is their flag. 93% of Kosovo's population is ethnically Albanian, and many of those Kosovar Albanians consider themselves part of Greater Albania. This makes ultra-nationalist Serbs very unhappy, and the imitation of the double eagle was seen as a territorial dig at Serbia. The players were fined by FIFA for unsporting behaviour and performing gestures that provoked fans in the stadium. That was not the only provocation that happened during the Switzerland-Serbia game. Ultra-nationalist Serbia fans showed up at the Kaliningrad stadium wearing shirts depicting the face of Bosnian Serb general Ratko Mladic, a man considered to be a national hero by many Serbs. 75-year-old Mladic is known as the Butcher of Bosnia and was convicted of war crimes last year. He orchestrated the Srebrenica massacre of 1995, when over 8,000 Bosnians were killed by Serb forces. Accounts of the massacre tell of how the soldiers bound the Bosnian victims with wire and slit their throats. According to former British Defence Secretary George Robertson, Mladic also worked with Serbian paramilitary units in Kosovo, who committed atrocities against the ethnic Albanians. It's not quite clear if the Serbia fans wore those shirts to intimidate the Swiss Kosovar players Shaqiri and Xhaka. The Serbian FA was fined 54,000 Swiss francs for their fans displaying discriminatory banners and messages during the game. Several football associations have been fined for a variety of reasons at this World Cup, mostly due to agitation by their fans. But Poland was fined for displaying a mysterious banner. Mysterious because FIFA won't release information about what it was. After a bit of research, we found the banner and found that the incident is getting pretty controversial in Poland. The banner shows the Polish coat of arms alongside an altered version of the town of Zator's emblem. Whoever made the banner added the ultra-nationalist meat shit Krobrego symbol to Zator's emblem, wrapping the sword in the middle with a ribbon in Poland's colours. The symbol is likened to the Nazi swastika or the white supremacist version of the Celtic cross, and was banned from Poland stadiums in 2005. UEFA banned it from the 2008 Euros onwards. The Secretary of Zator, Piotr Domagala, expressed the town's concern for its reputation. He also said the town has started legal proceedings to see what Polish laws were broken by this modification of the town's emblem. Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king. It could be argued that he's one of the top 3 players in world football today. Reports have emerged of his frustration with political attempts to exploit his fame. It started when the Egyptian Football Federation used his image on their World Cup bound plane without his permission, violating image rights agreements he had with other firms. Things were made worse when the Egyptian Football Federation picked Grozny, Chechnya, as a location for their World Cup base, in spite of it being far from their group games. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who has been accused of human rights abuses against political opponents, journalists and sexual minorities, was quick to stage photo ops with Salah, in what critics say was a move to bolster his image. Kadyrov denies that, saying he was there as a fan and not as a politician. But he even made Salah an honorary citizen of Chechnya at a banquet he hosted for the Egyptian team. And Salah wasn't particularly happy with that, according to anonymous sources who spoke to CNN. The sources also said he is now considering quitting the Egyptian national team, something the Egyptian Football Federation denies. Despite the commotion, Mohamed Salah has remained his humble, reserved self, making no public statements. It's hard to watch the World Cup when you've boycotted the country that has exclusive rights to broadcast those games in your region. Qatar-based sports channel beIN owns all rights to broadcast the 64 World Cup games in the Middle East and North Africa. But last year, as part of a blockade of Qatar led by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, the two countries banned beIN Sports and cut their citizens off from legal World Cup coverage. The UAE dropped the ban on the broadcaster just before the World Cup started, but the Saudis didn't. A few months before the World Cup, a pirate sports channel, BOutQ, appeared, offering beIN content with a 10-second delay. The pirate station is broadcast through Arabsat in Riyadh, a satellite broadcaster whose main shareholder is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Both the Saudi government and Arabsat have said they have no affiliation with the pirate station. Turki Al-Sheikh, head of the Saudi Sports Authority, is openly hostile to beIN and has recently accused the network of politicising its World Cup coverage through anti-Saudi commentary. Al-Sheikh seemed to be referring to a Moroccan guest on beIN who commented on Saudi Arabia's vote against Morocco's 2026 World Cup bid.
فمن باع القضية الفلسطينية من السهل أن يبيع اليوم ملف المغرب 2026.
He continued by affirming that Morocco was a sovereign nation with a right to remain neutral in disputes such as the Gulf crisis. FIFA is considering legal action against the pirate channel for infringement of their intellectual property rights. With the Gulf crisis ongoing, the beIN battles look likely to continue. So, that's our take on how politics got into this summer's World Cup. What do you think? Have we missed anything?